What if you could learn 10 times faster? No, I'm not kidding. 10 times faster. Today, we're going to break down a method that promises exactly that, all by using AI. It's called the Cyborg Method, and seriously, it might just flip everything you thought you knew about learning on its head. So, let's dive in. All right, first up, let me ask you something. Does learning the old-fashioned way ever feel like you're just grinding away? It's slow, it's inefficient, and it just feels totally out of step with how fast the world moves. You spend hours and hours reading the same pages over and over, just crossing your fingers that something, anything will stick. We've all been there, right? It's so frustrating. But what if there's a completely different way to do it? I mean, really, stop and think about that for a second. Imagine mastering a brand new skill or a language or even a whole college course in just a fraction of the time. That's the huge promise we're going to unpack today. And look, this isn't about pulling all-nighters or studying harder. No way. It's about studying smarter by teaming up with AI in a really powerful way. Okay, so let's give this thing a name. It's called the Cyborg Learning Method. And what it is really is a new way to learn, well, anything, by basically merging your brain power with an AI sidekick. And I know, it sounds like total sci-fi, but trust me, how you actually do it is way more down to earth than you think. Okay, so to really get how this thing works, we've got to first understand why it's so effective. And the whole secret sauce is this idea of creating an external brain. Basically, you're building an AI helper that takes on all the mental heavy lifting that our brains, frankly, aren't that great at. The fancy term for this is your external prefrontal cortex. So think about it like this. Your actual prefrontal cortex is like the CEO of your brain, right? It's doing all the high-level stuff, organizing, planning, trying to remember where you put your keys. Well, the cyborg method takes all that boring administrative work and just hands it off to your AI. It's brilliant. And what this does is create this super efficient team. Your brain is totally freed up to do the one thing it's amazing at, that deep, focused thinking that leads to real aha moments of understanding. And while you're doing that, your AI is in the background handling all the grunt work, the organizing, the structuring, the quizzing. It's the perfect partnership for your mind. All right, so we've got the why down, right? It's all about freeing up your brain to do that awesome deep work. So now for the good part. Let's get into the how. This is the actual step-by-step blueprint you can use to put this method into action, like today. And the blueprint itself, it's actually super simple, just 3 steps. First, you're going to generate active recall questions. Second, you'll take a test from what's called a demon teacher. Love that name. And third, you'll create these amazing things called brain movies. So let's break them down one by one. And to make it real, let's pretend we're trying to learn something tricky, maybe the basics of neuroscience. So step 1 is all about a proven technique called active recall. Now, instead of just staring at a dense textbook chapter about the hippocampus, and hoping it sinks in, you do something different. You just copy and paste that text into an AI. And boom, instantly, it spits out a list of super sharp questions about what you just read. This completely changes the game. It turns passive reading into an active conversation, and it forces your brain to pull that information out, which is literally how you build strong memories. Okay, on to step 2, and this one has a name you are not going to forget, the demon teacher. This is where things get real. It's where you find out what you actually know and where you start building true mastery. This is where your AI transforms into this tough but totally fair personal tutor. You have it create and grade practice tests for you, and it immediately shows you where you're messing up. So let's say in our neuroscience example, you keep getting axons and dendrites mixed up. Well, your AI demon teacher isn't going to let that slide. It's like a personal trainer for your brain, It's going to keep pushing you on your weak spots until you finally, truly get it. And that brings us to the final step. This one is my favorite. It's the most creative part of the whole process. This is the trick that really locks the information into your brain for the long haul. And they're called brain movies. It's like a brilliant little mind hack. You tell your AI to take all that dry, boring textbook info and turn it into a wild, vivid story. So instead of that paragraph about synaptic transmission, you'd ask it to write a short, weird documentary about Axon the Brave Messenger on a dangerous mission to deliver a secret package to Dendron the mysterious receiver. You see, by turning facts into a weird visual story, you're tapping directly into how your brain is wired to remember things. It becomes almost impossible to forget. So, as we zoom out a bit, it's so important to realize that this is way more than just a cool study trick. The Cyborg Method isn't just about acing a test. It really feels like we're getting a peek into the future of learning, a future where our own intelligence is just amplified by working together with AI. So, what's the big takeaway here? Well, first, this is a real-world blueprint for learning pretty much anything fast. Second, it's a model for how we can collaborate with AI, not to replace us, but to make us better. And finally, it's really a tool to unlock what you're capable of. You get to focus on the human stuff, the creativity, the big ideas, while the AI takes care of the boring bits. That partnership, that synergy, that's the whole secret right there. And that's pretty much the whole method. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Now that you know the blueprint, now that you have a way to learn anything 10 times faster, what are you going to learn first?